Hello, Suzanne, and welcome to the Hayley Osborne Show.
Hello, Hayley. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm really, really excited to have you on as my guest today. I've actually never had anyone like you as my guest and what you do on the podcast. It is valuable. So, in your own words, give a little bit of a rundown to my listeners about who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name's Suzanne Ingleton. I am known as the weight loss coach. My business is SA Weight Loss Hypnosis, and I do specialize in helping women and men to overcome their fear around food, to improve their relationship with food, to get off the dieting cycle, to live their best life. And I actually show them how to eat as a human being, which is very interesting. And people just go, "What? This is what we do all the time." However, this lifestyle that we live, and particularly for women in business, I'm one of them. We get into quick and easy, and we get into quick fix, and we don't pay attention to what really matters in terms of our health. So, I'm really focused and passionate on helping people to live their best life, but looking at it from the perspective of health, because that's my highest value, and I have a big story around that. And I don't want people to fall into the traps that I fell into.
Mm, mm. I know that you often say health is the new wealth for women in business.
Yes.
I love that. I think you should put a trademark on that because that's
Yes.
it's such a good liner. But if you don't have your health, you definitely
Mm,
can't have any wealth.
mm.
And that's just like fundamentally what it comes down to. So I guess, and you also do hypnotherapy, right?
Correct. Yes. So I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm an eating psychology coach. I'm a master NLP practitioner. I specialize in women who are going through menopause. So I do quite a few things, bring them all together. But it
Yeah.
is, under the umbrella of health.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, NLP stands for neuro linguistic programming. And I
Correct.
like that you do blend them together because I feel like there's not just one way. There is a hybrid model is the best because one fix isn't going to fix everything that happens in our lives. But I wanted to specifically ask you a couple of questions more around small business owners and relationships with food and health and fitness and all that kind of thing because you know everyone that's listening would know that I try and keep super fit, and the fitness thing is the thing, and the health, the eating is the thing that kind of sets me apart to be able to function with two small humans and one on the way that
Mm.
keeps me thriving, and that I definitely accredit to like my success and my energy levels and my ability to focus. But in your experience, I want to ask you, what are some of the common emotional eating triggers for entrepreneurs, and how can they begin to address these really effectively? Because when you're stressed, you eat. And I know that, I'm not like not guilty. I do eat sweets, and if I am stressed, I'll eat. My thing, like if I'm working late, is popcorn. But can you share like some of
Yeah.
that with us and with me? Because I'm curious.
Yeah. Sure. So, emotional eating, this is something that we are born to do. It's interesting that so many women that come to see me are very sometimes ashamed, just can't work it out, feel like they're out of control because they don't feel good and they eat to feel better. But this is a part of us, as it's a biological function of a human to eat to feel better, and it's set up from birth. It's part of our DNA. And so, as a crying baby given the breast or the bottle, within nanoseconds
Yeah.
will stop crying,
Thank
because
God.
yeah, because they get food, they get love, they get warmth, they get kind words, they get this whole bundle of love, and it makes them feel better. And thank goodness, because if we didn't like food, if it didn't make us feel better, we wouldn't last very long as a human, as a human race. So we need to enjoy food. Food does make us feel better, and it actually immediately instigates the parasympathetic nervous system. So food is the fastest thing. There is no medication on this earth that will make us feel calmer quicker than food. That is what it's designed to do. However, as we grow up through life and through learned behavior or habitual ways, we learn to eat to self-soothe. That's what we do, without considering, because it's not in our radar, that there are other things. Food is not what we're really hungry for all the time. There are other things. So, we're eating to self-soothe. As humans, we seek pleasure to avoid pain. Food is pleasurable. The pain of overwhelm, the pain of something didn't go right, pain of boredom, pain of, feeling sad, angry, fear, hurt, guilt, all
the things that small business owners feel in a day.
Totally. We'll go, okay, we just want to numb out. We'll just eat. That will, that will take it away. Or it will be a distraction that will take away this hard problem that I've got to do. I'll just get up, I'll walk away from my computer, I'll go to the kitchen, if we're working from home, I'll grab a cup of tea and a biscuit, and I'll think about it and eat. So, these are things that we train ourselves habitually to do. But when we stop and think, well, what is the cause? And this is the work that I do with neurolinguistics, is to work on the root cause. What is driving the behavior? So an emotion drives behavior, but what is driving that emotion? What's the thing before that? Yeah. And that's where we need to look and focus on, okay, do we need to eat the frog first thing in the morning? That saying, do the worst thing that you can possibly think of in the morning, eat the frog, and then it's done, rather than sit on it, halfway or all through the day going, oh, I need to do this, but then, you just keep distracting yourself with other things. So sometimes we just have to look at what we're doing, prioritize, eat the frogs, and then move through the day. Because if you've done the thing that you don't want to do, there's less likely for you to need distraction to feel better for it.
Yeah. And so, doing the hard task, getting it out the way quickly, you are less likely to eat crap food. Pretty much.
Absolutely. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Because we train ourselves to do that. So it's a conditioned programming in our mind.
Yeah.
That, okay, and you begin to do it mindlessly. So habits are mindless, but it doesn't mean they're not changeable. We create these neural pathways in our brain to go this way, but we don't want to go that way anymore. We want to go that way. So don't go this way, go that way. So we have to train ourselves to do something differently. And what I often work with my clients is to create a what else list. What else can I do instead of eating? Because the food's not going to fix my problem. So, women in business, perhaps they just need a break. Perhaps they just need to get up from their computer, go outside, get some fresh air. Perhaps they need to do a blocky. Perhaps
I love that. Do a
glass of water. Yeah. Just get outside and go for a walk.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Quick.
Because it's quick, it's effective. You get your lungs moving, you get oxygen moving through your body. Perhaps it's just a glass of water that you need instead of food. Or it's a cup of tea, or you put on some music, or go and play with the dog, or grab a hug from the kids. Whatever it is, create that what else list, because it's not food that you need.
Yeah, I love that.
It's something else.
It's a good strategy, a what else list. And you could have that on your desk, just sort of sitting there on your whiteboard. Most people have a whiteboard, just to say what else. Okay, what else? Something that I've started doing too, and I don't know if you recommend this, is I'll look at the time and I'll go, right, I know that I need some morning tea. By 11 a.m., if I'm not finished this thing, I'm not getting up. But I should finish this thing before then. And then the reward is an apple, or, and that kind of will stop you from snacking too much, because that's not good either, right? You can't just snack on healthy foods even all day, because surely that, I don't know, I'm not the expert here, but.
So I guess.
Or is that not good?
Well, look, and it depends what you're snacking on, when you're snacking, and the quality of the food, and why you're snacking. So, my thing around having a healthy brain, because we're pretty much all in our heads. We sit at our desk and everything happens up here, and the top half of down here, nothing happens. So we want to look after ourselves from a nutritional point of view. And if your brain is distracted, or it doesn't recognize that it's had a meal, so if you're eating while you're working, your brain doesn't realize you've eaten something, and so it will actually send out more messages that I'm hungry, give me more. And there'll be a habit that's attached to that. But even before that, we need to satisfy the needs of a human body, which is having enough protein, healthy carbs, which is vegetables, and healthy fats, like the three things: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in between whiles, a busy mind is going to be a hungry mind. So, you might need to have those healthy snacks, as long as they're the best quality, not the biscuits and the crackers and things. So if you're having apples and nuts and, for morning tea and afternoon tea, or hummus, or whatever those things are, healthy bliss balls, that's okay, as long as you are, moving as well and eating the best quality food right throughout the day.
So do you have any other strategies that you can share with business owners that can help to, I guess, conquer the cravings, mostly during high pressure periods? Because I feel like that's what triggers it the most. So the list is a good one. Any other suggestions?
Yeah. Good sleep. Absolute. That is the foundation of a healthy human body, is making sure that we have enough sleep. So 8 hours sleep, horizontal all night, not waking up and then going, oh, I go back to sleep really quickly, or I just go to the loo and then I go back, and then I'm in bed again. That's not quality sleep. It's broken sleep. And so, if you're not getting enough sleep, your body is under low grade stress, because it's not getting its time to repair. And if we are under low grade chronic stress, it happens a lot, it's happened for years, then your body will crave more sugar because it wants more energy. So a person that doesn't sleep well is more likely to be craving quick and easy snacks, the sweet snacks. So we need to get it right from the get-go. And even before you have good sleep, there's that good bedtime routine. And as a business owner, I know I've been, stuck at my desk till 9, 10 at night. Not good. So, we got, sometimes these things happen. We can't say, no, we can't do it, because, there is a need. But we can support ourselves right up until that time. So having, because of the electromagnetic frequency, the EMFs that come from, all the devices that we have attached to us all the time.
Yeah.
So having a good bedtime routine, or wearing blue light glasses to mitigate the blue light, putting your screens on low light, so, your brain is not getting as much of that, because what happens then is we're interrupting our sleep hormone, which is melatonin. And if we're constantly on our devices getting all this EMF stuff, we're messing with our head. So the hormone that we need to sleep to heal and repair our bodies isn't happening. So we're likely to wake up. And that is creating tired brain, foggy brain, slow, we're not as clear as we want to be.
So just for a bit of personal stuff here, I'm about to go into a world of no sleep shortly. And busy days and no sleep. So I am having a baby, and one thing that I just took out of that is one thing that I can do if I'm not getting that enough sleep is take out the screen time. So no phones after 7 o'clock, no whatever. So I get that time. But what am I going to do? How am I going to just ride the wave? It's a short time. Like, I don't want to end up in a state where, I know this is not a personal counseling session by any means. This is a podcast, but there are surely people listening that are thinking, oh, that's okay for you in a perfect world. Where you can get that, and maybe you don't have small children, or a dog next door that's barking all night, or you live, somewhere like, so there's lots of external triggers that might come in the way of that perfect suggestion.
Yes.
So
Totally. I know.
Give us what you got.
So I guess this is also where we need to look at what can we do, knowing that it's not ideal, and some will say up to 2 hours before you go to sleep, and a lot of people go, what? 2 hours? What am I going to do for 2 hours? And for everyone, it's going to be different. This could be another what else list. What else can I do instead of being on my screen? Could you read a book? Could you have a nice warm bath? Could you listen to some music? Could you meditate? Could you color and draw? I was talking to an amazing Adelaide artist, Kathy Zepp from Kathy Zepp Designs, who is a mandala artist. And she showed us a way to just really totally get into a flow. And actually, it's a hypnotic trance-like state of drawing your own mandala or coloring in, doing something to give your brain a rest. If your brain's been active for 8 hours, then it needs a rest. So for you to get more out of it and to be more productive the next day, you need to recharge it. And by being in a quiet state, reading a real book, not off a screen, doing some coloring in, you might be doing some kind of review work, but nothing that's too taxing, like not doing all your finances and your tax return and stuff at night. Something that's going to slow down, playing music, but create that what else list. What else? I don't know. Who I don't know if anyone does this anymore, knitting or sewing, or but some people can find maybe there's a hobby, something else that they can do that is relaxing, that they enjoy, but it's going to start winding them down. Calming for sleep. And it could be a matter of experimenting. What else can I do? Yet that didn't work. Maybe it's stretching, maybe it's doing some yoga, some kind of exercise, which is also going to be hugely beneficial for your mind and body. Listening to a podcast, a meditation, catching up on some of those low level calming listening things.
Yeah. I was going to ask, so many business owners really struggle with time management, and from an expert in your field, what would your top tips be for integrating like mindful eating, exercise into a busy schedule?
Okay. And I think this is where I fall to my rituals and practices. So creating things on a daily basis, and sometimes we need to bend time because we all have the same amount of time. But when we look at what's important to us and then create that time around that, I find personally to do things, the things that I do for me, so I've got me time, is in the morning. That's the best time for me to do something. Anything after 10 o'clock is someone else's time. They've got my time, but before that I am in control of my time. So bending time to work out, well, how can I, always thinking, well, what can I do, rather than I can't do this, I can't do that, because we get stuck into this little box of I can't, and your mind doesn't open up and expand into what you can do. So thinking about, well, what can I do to bend time for me? And does that mean going to bed earlier? And so I can wake up earlier and have, my hour of quiet, my hour of power in the morning, my own quiet time to do whatever I want to do, whether that is meditating, doing some yoga, going to the gym, or going for a walk, doing some kind of exercise at home. Looking at what you can do. And another thing that I've come across, which I love, is the 4Ds. Have you heard about the 4Ds?
No. What are you going to say?
Yeah, the thing, our lists, we've all got lists, right? We've all got these massive to-do lists. So look at your to-do list and get 4 pieces of paper out and go, which are the things that you can delegate? Which are the things that you can delete? Which are the things that you can delay? And which are the things that you need to do?
Yeah.
So those 4Ds, looking at, well, how can I, of those 4Ds, give myself the gift of time? Like we were talking before, you're the only person that can give you gift of time.
Yeah.
And supporting others to support you. So perhaps it is delegating something or deleting something. If it's been on your list for, more than a month, well, is it that important? Ditch
Mm.
it.
And delegating doesn't have to be something inside your business either, right?
No.
It could be like getting your house cleaned or
Yes.
saying to your sister or brother or sister-in-law or whatever, can you please come and do my washing today? Because I really
Yes.
need help. Like
Yes.
I definitely, I think, have leaned into, especially over the, I'm going to say 5 years, I am not a hero and I don't need to do all the things. And so
Mhm.
I don't need to like stress about that stuff. So I have like learnt to lean into family and friends and ask for help.
Mm.
And I don't need to do everything myself. And
Yeah.
I think that's massive, massive. If you are, no one needs a, what's the word? It's not a hero. No one needs a, oh, I forgot. I've lost my train of thought. That happens.
Is that
A
called baby brain?
martyr. That's
A
it.
martyr, right.
No one needs to be a martyr. You can outsource
No.
things like quite easily. And if you're thinking, oh yeah, but I don't have the money, it's good for you to say that, da da da. Like that's, getting family or next door neighbor help, or, hey, you're mowing your medium strip. Do you think you could just do mine as well? Like I'll bake you a cake. Like stuff like that. Like it all adds
Yes.
up, right? The little things, the delegating is huge. And if, yeah, you can have help inside your business, and that's massive too. But if you can't, then what else can you do? There's lots of
Mhm.
ways. You don't have to be.
Yep, that's right. And that's looking outside of the square and thinking of and trying other things. I think another thing is learning how to say no. Sometimes that is a biggie. We're very much uh, inclined to say yes to everything, particularly when we're in small business. We want to we do want to get our reach out, we want to help others, but sometimes we have to learn to say no. And whether that's upfront or you just say, can I get back to you on that one, and then come up with the reasoning behind it, so you can say, actually, I can't do this, but someone else could. And it may be taking yourself off parent student or parent committees, or whatever is happening. If you're, because you're a busy person, we get lots of stuff done, right? And most people will
Yes.
give you things to do. So this is where you might, it can be interesting but helpful to say no. No, not
Yeah.
today.
So Suzanne, could you explain? I want to go back to the hypnotherapy because I don't
Yes.
know enough about this subject, and
Mm.
I I'm not ignorant to it, but I've just never kind of even looked into like what it is and how it might help. But could you explain how this is your expertise, right? In
Mm.
hypnotherapy might aid in enhancing like focus and decision making
Decision. Yeah. Yes,
skills
yes. Yeah.
in like the small business setting for entrepreneurs, because I feel
Mm.
like that's a little loophole. Like that could be a nice hack, or just things that people may not know
Mm.
about that it could help them. And this is something that you have expertise in.
Yeah, so hypnosis, I love hypnosis. It's the most powerful tool that we all have. We can all do it. And hypnosis is something, it's a very natural thing for us to do. Most of us are in hypnosis many times of the day. It's an altered state of awareness. And if you've ever watched TV, or you've been to the movies, or you've been driving and you've thought, oh, I can't remember how I got from A to B. Oops, I don't know. I hope I didn't go through any red lights. I'm here though. This is where we are in total focus. We're in it's focused awareness. Our autonomic nervous system is doing what it should be doing. And if driving, if God forbid something were to happen, everything would kick into play and we would react. But our mind is in a focused state of awareness. We're driving, we know that we're driving, but our mind is off somewhere else. and that's okay. And so when we watch TV, our mind is totally focused on the TV. If we've been to the movies, we totally believe that Superman flies in the air, and wow, how amazing is that, you know? And this is because our mind allows it, and we are fully focused. So hypnosis is something that anyone can do. I can't control anyone's mind, so I can't make anyone do anything that they don't want to do. All hypnosis, in fact, is self-hypnosis. So I'm just the guide. I am guiding someone to go into an altered state, which is a very relaxing state. And interestingly, with hypnosis, and we know the power of relaxation, and we know that the mind needs a rest, 2 minutes in hypnosis is worth a 20-minute rest.
Yeah,
So
wow.
you can take yourself into hypnosis. So in fact, before this session and yesterday I was doing a podcast as well, I took myself into hypnosis to just, you know, access the resources of my subconscious mind, because it holds everything that I need. So, you know, all the answers that I need to the questions that, you know, that you're about to ask me, the confidence levels that I need, everything that I've learned, everything that you know, in my awareness since day dot is in my subconscious mind, and all the resources that I need. So under hypnosis, I can access all of that. I can just give myself permission to go, okay, yes, mind, just, you know, come up with what
Do
I
your
need.
work. Do
Yeah,
your finest.
yes, absolutely. And, you know, I've found this really helpful in, well, particularly when I've been giving talks, you know, just taking myself into that state where I am clear and focused on my thoughts. I'm clear and focused on what I need to do. You know, I'm visualizing the outcome, which is successful. And that's part of my neurolinguistic training as well. I'm focusing on what I can do, and I'm focusing on the successful outcome. But hypnosis, putting yourself into a state of hypnosis or being in hypnosis, can you imagine 30 minutes of hypnosis and feeling like you've been swinging around on a hammock for the last 5 hours, you know, just feeling nice and relaxed?
No.
This is the benefit that it brings to a human body. And when our body is in a relaxed state, it's in its best healing state, optimum digestion state, optimum mind state of rest. So hypnosis is incredibly empowering and powerful, a wonderful tool.
Nice. So for our listeners, how can they find you?
Yeah,
How
sure.
can we find you to stalk you and see what it is that you have to offer?
So my website is www.saweightlosshypnosis.com. I have an Instagram page called The Weight Loss Coach, and I have YouTube. I think that's also The Weight Loss Coach, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. So yeah, or my email address is suzanne@saweightlosshypnosis.com.au. So,
Nice.
you know, I'm more than happy to, I offer a free 30-minute chat. So if someone, you know, wasn't quite sure how I could help them, they can just give me a call, or, you know, book in a call, and we can have a chat, and I can let them know, okay, well, this is how I can help you, depending on, you know, what their needs are.
Beautiful. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for joining me today and for being in the ears of all my listeners. It's been insightful, beneficial. I've got a few tips that I'm going to do now in my life, which I think is going to be really helpful. And I'm sure that the listeners have taken away heaps as well. The show notes will be on the website for everyone that wants to go back and have a little look. I'll link to all of Suzanne's Instagram, website, and everything as ease of transaction, so you can see it there. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time, Suzanne. It's been awesome.
Thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure, and I've really loved having a chat with you today. So thank you, Hayley, for having me.
Yay.